guys, and welcome back to our channel, A Little Bit Hippie. Look, today is a really nice day outside, and we've had some pretty shocking weather lately, so I'm going to take you through the garden because everything has gone berserk and I'd love for you to see what's been happening. So come for a wander and I'll show you what's been happening in the garden. I thought before I'd start I'd let the lawnmower out for a bit of a graze around. As you can see, the grass has pretty much died off, but through the creek and whatnot it's still quite long, so I thought I'll let the old fella out to munch it down. It's clearly a hard life on the homestead here. It's a hard life, isn't it, kids? Hey? Sargy. So this is Sarge over here and Miss Maya. Actually, I probably haven't done a video on the kids for a while, and Maya has really started to grow up. I really need to shit pick the paddocks today too, I think. Best do that. So Maya is now 3 years old. She turns 3 in November. But being a heavy horse cross, I've decided I'm not going to break her or do anything with her until she's at least 5 years old. So she's quite happy being a pampered princess at the moment, and clearly Sarge is finding life really exhausting. Why do you have to shit in the one area? I mean, yeah, makes it easier on me to pick up, doesn't it? But oh well, we might put some horse shit around the tomatoes today, hey? What do you reckon? You gonna come out and mow some lawns? Alright, come on, old boy. Hey, Spunky Man. How's your morning, babe? We're gonna go and do some mowing. Put you to work today. What do you reckon? Watch the tape. As you can see, Elvis is clearly a psycho old boy. He's a good old man. I haven't ridden for quite some time. Well, let's face it, I'm fat, so I really didn't want to put him under that pressure. But the aim is to get him working again and have some fun. You didn't make it very far. There's all that. Yeah, the simple things in life, eh? Come, Mooey. Let's go veggie patch. Come on. Okay, so I have to be a bit careful. I've let the chicks free range, so I don't want them coming in the veggie patch. So as you can see, everything's looking pretty good. We've got a couple of empty beds at the moment. I did have the baby chicks growing out in these runs here. I've still got silkies in there at the moment. Come on, I'll introduce you. So these kids were actually growing up. The one right over the back there is classified as a sizzle, which is a frizzle cross silky. Not wanting to breed with him, or her, so she'll be going to a girlfriend of mine, Tracy. And then there's these little guys here as well. So just growing them up to add to our flock. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, Mooey's made it into the veggie patch. Okay, so tomatoes. As you may remember from original videos, older videos, the tomatoes were frosted pretty severely. So it has stunted their growth somewhat, but these puppies are loaded with tomatoes. Like, they are just looking utterly amazing. I was going to pluck laterals and, you know, all that sort of jazz, but they're doing really well as they are and quite healthy. No. Mooey here is a pea fanatic. I will never have any peas to take to the table because Mooey gets them before we can do anything with them. But anyway, so, oh look, we've got one ready to go already. Can you, oh, I'm in the way, sorry. Look at that. So these are the little grape tomatoes, they call them, and these are the well, obviously yellow variety. So yeah, yum. Oh, that's fine. No, you eat it. Look. Eddie. Clearly doesn't like tomatoes. So moving on, as I said, the tomatoes are looking sensational. Oh, hi Babs. Babs has come to say hello too. Do you want a bit of tomato? Here. Do you want a bit? No? You don't want tomato either? Okay. Anyway, moving on. All the sunflowers have started to take off. You can see them all there. And they're starting to develop their little heads. I can't wait until they pop out. The berries, the loganberries and the boysenberries have all gone berserk. So I've had to actually string them up because they were starting to take over. But look at that. Oh, bring it on. The strawberries, we've slowly been having a few strawberries here and there, and they don't make it to the kitchen. The little lemon is looking fantastic and loaded with little lemons on there. Oh look, there's a couple of strawberries. Hope Mooey doesn't see it because he'll be straight into them. The little feijoa has put on a little bit of growth, and the pomegranate down the end there. I was a bit worried because they didn't seem to be growing, but all of a sudden we have a bit of growth. And we still have one lonely little peach in there. More tomatoes, they're everywhere. The only thing I've got to watch, I pulled a couple off. I'm not going to be able to find one now. And they had a hole in them, and I thought it might have been fruit fly, but I can't find any larvae or anything like that in there, so I'm actually not sure what it is. I'll have to do a bit of research and see what I come up with. I planted some foxgloves there a while ago and they've taken off too, which is really good. And the cosmos down the end here, I love cosmos because, well, the bees love it. So, you know, in theory, bring in the bees, they'll pollinate the tomatoes. So I'll just keep them trimmed down because cosmos can get quite big. Then over here, check out the corn. So this golden bantam, I mean, it is loaded with cobs. They're just everywhere. I'm hoping that the cobs obviously will be pollinated and, you know, full cobs. So we'll see what happens there. I'll keep you posted, but by far, the best producer of corn I have had for years, absolute years. Now along the edges I planted some Lebanese zucchinis, which seem to be doing really well too. They all of a sudden they're taken off. Oh look, there's actually one form in there. So that's really promising considering I thought I killed them off. We've got Peter's butternut pumpkins over here that finally, only in the last 2 weeks, have actually put on some growth. My peas were looking amazing until you got to them. Yeah. Look, they are starting to come back. So fingers crossed, they might actually be all right. the two little the two little beans here that they were frosted and they've come back and they're only little, but they're producing beans already. So this is the Mendoza, which, well, obviously they're pretty hardy. The chilies, oops, oh, that wasn't a movie. The little habanero chilies have only just started to come on now. I do think that was through lack of feed, which I've started now with a new product called Swift Grow, which I did a little thing on in the last video. Well, if you look at the tomatoes and the chilies, they're the only things I have used it on just to see what had happened. And yeah, wow. So I've used it twice now, once in the last video and again during the week, this week. I would highly recommend you get it and you give it a go. The eggplants have come on beautifully, absolutely beautifully. I did think I was going to lose them. No, they have gone gangbusters. Again, I use Swift Grow on these and the jalapeno chilies as well. Oh, I've got some spring onions. They really need to come out and be used. And I do apologise, I haven't made it to weed in this end yet. The red Trapia onions, I think they're just about ready to harvest too. So these are the only onions that I grew from seed and they have done amazing. I've got watermelons in too, which they've started to come on nicely as well and started to creep. I think they may do okay. We'll see how we go. I've still got onions in, though in saying that, they are ready to harvest. Did you just fly then? You just flew. You're a nutter. Anyway, I have left a couple in, as you can see, because they have been such good producers. I've left a couple in. I'm going to keep the seed. So these ones here are the French echalot, doing really well. They require a lot less water than the other varieties and they're huge. These are the potato onions or clumping onions, again also doing exceptionally well, and again I am keeping the seeds. Can you see the little native pollinator there? Oh, he's flown off now. But we get a lot of these little native pollinators. They're incredible. They're just, the way they hover, I don't know whether you can see him without me, oh, there he is. I'll have to figure out the name of that one. I'm not sure on that. So we've still got, oh, sorry. We've still got plenty of kohlrabi in. A few of them I'm going to harvest. I've let one go to seed here, and I'll collect the seed off of that. But then the rest of it, the chooks can have. I've also got a couple of radishes here that I've let go to seed. So those seed pods, I'm just waiting for them to dry, and they'll be ready to collect. Now I've got some little cantaloupes and honeydews in here, and they're really little. I just don't know how they're going to go. That one there I think will be fine, but then, oh sorry Mooey. And then we've got a couple here that are a hell of a lot smaller. This one's put on more growth though, so yeah, not sure. We'll see how they go. And this one, these are the cantaloupes, and this is Hale's Best, or Hale's Jumbo, sorry. And they've put on a fair bit of growth, so I'm a bit hopeful for them. Artichokes, I've got everywhere that came up. I planted them ages ago. Peter gave me a great big bag full, and I planted them, and I forgot about them, to be honest, and they've gone nuts. I've also got beans here. These are the Coles Dwarf variety along the back. Please excuse the weeds again. But they have got beans galore on them now, so I reckon we better harvest them, and soon. The small sugar pumpkins have really all of a sudden shot up and started to take off. I am hopeful, but I seem to have more of the male flowers than I do females. So, yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. Over this side here, look, these are the pickling cucumbers, and they've gone leggy, and I'm thinking they're a bust. We're finding it really hard to keep up the water in here. So the plan is that when we remove a crop, we're going to absolutely pile up the compost, the horse poo, and the mulch as well. Make it so that it retains water better. Here's the sweet dumpling squash, and they were really small when I put them in, but some have gone really well, and fingers crossed we might even get some squash. So this little plot over here took a bit of a beating. We had some really hot, windy days, and well, this one's copped it. So the cucumbers in here are looking, well, they're looking better than they were, but they're very leggy, and I don't think they'll come to much, unfortunately. They just copped an absolute hiding, as you can tell by my poor red vein sorrel. Oh, poor babies. Anyway, everything else though seems to be, well, okay with it. The zucchinis are coming on nicely. I have had a problem with pollination, so you can see here, let's break that off. So this is a zucchini. See how it's gone yellowy, mushy, and well, obviously hasn't developed. It hasn't been pollinated properly, which is a bit disappointing, really, considering I've got bees galore. But anyway, moving on. Everything else seems to be surviving. The chilies in here, oh, sorry. The chilies in here have just tripled in size. And here I was wondering what all these are. Anyway, I went to pluck one out and it was hairy, and I went, the borage is self-seeded everywhere. So I'm giving it away to whoever wants it. So if you're in the area and you need borage, come and grab it. The aloe has gone nuts. I have actually used some of that in some products that I was tinkering with. But I think I need to get some different aloe. I'm not overly happy with how that sort of mushes down. That's the technical term, right? The finger lime has gone berserk, and I think it needs to come out of that pot. It's just, it's huge. So I think wintertime, a prune, and that needs to go in the ground. This bed here, I pulled everything out of, and as you can tell, apart from I've got the feverfew in there and a couple of soapworts and comfrey that mysteriously decided to grow again. So I've just popped a whole heap of straw and horse poo on that one. Trying to get some more sort of organic matter into these beds, because the soil that we bought in, don't get me wrong, it wasn't crap, it was actually not too bad. But the soil in this bed, and this bed was nowhere near as good as the stuff in that bed. And I need to really, once all the crops are out, I need to just load it up with mushroom compost, horse poo, you name it. It needs to be loaded. So anyway, add to the to-do list. Guess who touched the fence? Sargy. You gonna be right? I have never known a dopier horse than Sarge. He has a fascination with the electric fence and he has to play with it. It's like he can't just leave it be. He's got to touch it with his whiskers and then gets a fright when it cracks and carries on like a 2-bob watch. Yes, some just never learn. You have though, haven't you? We don't touch fences, do we? No. You're a good girl. What do you got? Ah, you got a present. Oh, you can bring it here then. Bring it here. Thanks. Appreciate it. The things you do when you've got a giant dog. Let's just take the pony for a walk and take the magpie for a walk too, eh? Why not? We do things a little bit differently here, don't we? Yeah. There. You fat land whale. Well guys, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Please get in touch if you have any comments or any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below or you can find us on Facebook. Just look for the yellow flower with the bee and drop us a line that way. I love hearing from you. Until next time guys, remember, live life to the fullest, love beyond words and laugh like no one can hear you. Till next time, bye.